Good morning, Meridian, and welcome to Business Buzz. Joining me today in Business Buzz is Mike McCaleb with Boise Visuals, and Mike is an event filmmaker. Mike's company, Boise Visuals, joined the chamber, and it's been a few months now.
Yeah.
But we this is our first opportunity to kind of sit down with Mike. Mike's helped us with a few projects already, and I'll talk about those in a little bit. But Mike, tell us a little bit. How did you get started in the business of filmmaking and video production?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Sean. This is amazing and a great thing for the community. So thank you. I got started in the 90s. At the time, I was managing a comedy club and I was doing video production for the club, and the comedians would come through and I would edit demo reels for them. And I was doing the preview videos that they showed every week. And I ended up doing 5 or 6 different clubs. And then about 2001, a friend of mine asked me to shoot a wedding with him. And I was a documentary film guy. So I went to the wedding, and first time I did a wedding, I absolutely hated it. I was like, this is not what I want to do. And a couple weeks later, he said, can you do another one with me? Because you did a great job. And I said, okay. And for some reason, the second time, it kind of stuck with me that this is really a documentary film, and I'm just documenting everything that's happening at this event and putting it together later. And that's what I studied in college.
Okay.
And so I sort of fell in love with it. I've shot over 900 weddings now. But in addition, I've been doing commercials and seminars and corporate events and pretty much you name it. And that's what I really want to focus on now is that type of work.
Okay. One of the things that I saw in some of the materials that you shared with us is you made the comment that it's so important for the person that shoots the video also be the one that edited it, so that
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
the real thing that went on at the event.
Well, yeah. I started out as an editor, and I was shooting events that I was editing events that I hadn't shot. And so looking at the footage, you don't really know what you're looking at because you weren't there. And so I try to do everything myself. I do have people that help me out, but for me, the editing is really the most fascinating part of it because it really determines the overall emotion that you're trying to convey to the viewer. So
Okay.
yeah, so I keep doing that
Okay.
myself.
Well, Mike, what just tell us a little bit what brought you to the Treasure Valley? What you sound like you've been a California filmmaker guy. What brought you to the Treasure Valley?
So I'm a big visual person, and my mom and my sister moved here 6 years ago, and my family would visit them, and you know, I just kept thinking this is a place that I really want to end up, and COVID ended up sort of being a catalyst for that. My business had a decline, as did a lot
Mhm.
of businesses, and my wife and I just kind of looked at each other and said, "Why don't we go now?" And I was a little surprised because she's a California girl and she's never lived anywhere else. But here we are, and it's working out great.
Yeah. Well, Mike, I think we've got some video that we want to show of some of your footage and the things that you do. If we could bring that up, I'll just let you kind of narrate us through what you've got here.
Sure. So this is a drone shot. I love flying drones. It's just an amazing thing to do. And I do a lot of real estate video. So here's a few shots from weddings that we've done. This was a private property in the hills in California. Did some drone shots there. Um, let's see what's next. This is a piece that I did for a camp, an outdoor camp, and we were telling the story of how the camp was built and the founders, and this was for their anniversary, and they were showing this video to the donors for the camp. Um, and we kind of went through the history of it and everything, used a lot of photos. This is a commercial that I did, and it's for a new product, a facial brush, and very simple. It took us half a day to shoot, and yet it looks really great. I've also done demo reels for conventions and trade shows. This was a trade show for the International Society of Cosmetic Chemists, which was really interesting. It was a car show, and we did an ad for Wawanesa Insurance, and some testimonials there. Testimonials are great for businesses. This was a photography educational seminar that I shot and actually live streamed. And so that was a really neat project. A lot of people that I knew from the wedding industry too. Um, yeah, and this was an ad that I did for a Mazda dealership, and interviewed the owner and really got into their business culture, and I shoot seminars. So this is a speaker demo reel for a lady who does seminars. So there's a lot of different types of projects that I've worked on. I did some work for the Orange County Fire Authority. This was a historical piece that we did for them, for the union. I've done training films. This was for a new building in downtown LA, where they went through all of the electrical and HVAC systems, and they were training the people on those. So lots of different ways you can use video for your business. And a lot of people don't realize that video is actually great for SEO for your website. So the more video you can put on your website, the more views you get. That translates to instant SEO for
Yeah.
you, and helps with search engine. And
Yeah,
honestly,
no, and I know, I mean, over the last year, we've all had to adapt, and being on video and behind a camera, in front of a camera, has become more natural. But uh,
not for me.
a- actually, businesses are utilizing it more in commercials. I know
Yeah.
the chamber, we've appreciated your recent work with us. You just recently did the video for our small business awards, our keynote speaker, which our members will be able to see in this Monday's newsletter that comes out, and see what the keynote speaker did. You shot that, great job, and
Thank you.
blending and taking her PowerPoint and blending it in,
Mhm.
and things, and making it a real nice production. And then one of the things that the community is going to get to see of Mike is his photography skills as well. Um, Recently, we had Mike shoot a cover photo for our new visitors guide that will be out in the next month. So he did a great shot of downtown Meridian for
That
the
was
cover photo.
that
So
was fun.
your photography and everything. Drone videography, though, that's something you had some video up there and you were showing about that. That seems like maybe it's a growing interest in a lot of ways to show off projects and things.
Yeah, it's interesting because people see the drone shots, and it's not something you can see normally.
Mhm.
And so it's really interesting for people to see things from above. And one of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm doing a project for Arbor Valley, which is a long-term care facility in Boise, and we did some overhead aerial views of their property, because their property, when you drive by it, you can't tell how big it is,
Mhm.
but it really goes back from the street, and the drone shots really help with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talked also about business commercials, shooting those for businesses and things. You already talked about for their website and things. What are some of the unique things you're seeing businesses do with the video commercials now?
Well, of course, Facebook is huge with our generation, and so advertising on Facebook with video, you actually get a lot better results with that. Um, we have people doing 360 tours now,
Mhm.
where, because of COVID, you can't go into a space, so they want to see what the space looks like. And by doing a 360 tour, you can click on a photo and really look in a 360 view of that space, whether it's a gym or a school, or a dentist's office. And it's funny because being able to see where you're going ahead of time makes you feel a little bit more at ease, and you want to go in there.
Yeah.
Nobody likes going to the dentist, but if you see what the dentist office looks like, you're like, oh, I could sit there and
Yeah.
be okay. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Mike, what kind of clients are you looking to work with? What type of businesses? What type of businesses are you looking for? I mean, you've shown documentaries, commercials, weddings. What are you looking for in business?
Um, I just love working with people, and I don't limit myself to small businesses. Of course, I love small business because I'm a small
Mm-hmm.
business. And my whole thing is I try to tell the story of the business and kind of get behind the passion of the owners, and why the business is there. I can work with nonprofits. Um, real estate, although the real estate market is pretty quick right now. So
It is.
people taking pictures with their iPhones, you know,
And selling that quick. Yeah.
right? Yeah. But really anybody, and you know, if you want to expand your online view, I think video is a great way to do it.
Okay. Well, Mike, how does someone find you if they're interested in having you do some work for them?
Yeah. So our website is boisevisuals.com. I'm also on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. We do a lot of ads there. If you want to take a look at some of our work, that's a good way to do it. Pick up the phone and call. I'd love to just talk to you about your business and, you know, see if there's a way that I can help you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, thank you for being with us today and sharing a little bit about your business and your passion with our chamber membership.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you. Be sure to join us next week on Tuesday as we bring you another chamber member during our Business Buzz program. Thank you and have a great day, Meridian.